Hello students, welcome back to the session. In this session, we are again extending the discussion on work power energy. The topic of discussion is collision. So this is a very common word you come across in daily life. So what is the meaning of the word collision? Collision means to collide. Okay, what exactly it means? It is interaction of two bodies in which both are in motion or one of that is in motion. So it is basically interaction between two bodies. Now when we talk of collision, then collision can be classified into two types. We can say elastic collision, we can say inelastic collision. Now what is the meaning of elastic collision? Elastic collision, the condition for the collision to be elastic is, in this, momentum is conserved. Momentum is conserved. And the second condition is kinetic energy is conserved. These are the two underlying conditions for any collision to be elastic in nature. And when we talk of inelastic collision, here momentum is conserved. Kinetic energy is not conserved. Some part of the kinetic energy is lost in the form of sound heat. That is why such collisions are inelastic in nature. In case of elastic collisions, the two bodies will collide and they will start moving away from each other. While in case of an inelastic collision, they will combine together and will move together as one mass. So students, in the numericals it will not be if it is not given what kind of collision it is, you have to make out whether it is elastic or inelastic by using this underlying principle that in case of elastic collision, the particles will move apart away from each other, while in case of inelastic collision, they are going to move together as one mass. So for elastic collision, we will have two equations, that is, we will get one equation from the law of conservation of momentum, we will get one equation from the conservation of kinetic energy. And two variables will be there, that is, what will be the velocity of each of the body after collision. So V1 and V2 if we assume, then we have two variables, so we need two equations, one from this this way. The next is inelastic collision. Now in an inelastic collision, like say two bodies, two mercury spheres, drops come together, they combine, they'll start moving. So the combined mass will have one velocity, so variable is only one. So we need only one equation, momentum conservation will help us. Closely observe, whatever be the kind of collision, momentum remains conserved. So this is a common feature of both the kind of collision. Second is, the collision can be in one dimension, collision can be in two dimensions. Collision in one dimension means what? The collision that you see on the road, vehicles moving in a straight line, that is one dimension collision. And two dimension in billiards, pool table, carom board, you can say some of the collisions which are occurring are two dimension. That is exactly how we can understand collision in nature of motion as well. It can be classified as one dimension and two dimension. Now let us try to find out, this is the theory behind collision. Now let us try to numerically analyze each of the kind of collision. Now students, let us understand elastic collision in one dimension in a mathematical way. Let us do the analytical treatment of collision in one dimension. See, what we are observing is, we are taking this way, this is one mass A. Let us say m1 is the mass of it. It is having velocity u, initial velocity u1. This is B. Let us say its mass is m2. It has a velocity u2. See, it is not necessary that u2 is to be in motion. u2 can be at rest. See, these two interact. Now what happens is, A will have a velocity, let us say v1. B has a velocity v2. One dimension, they are moving in one dimension. See, they interact with each other and the result is their velocities are changing, right? So the mass of this is m1, mass will not change. Now this is elastic collision. Now in elastic collision, first is we have momentum is conserved. Now from law of conservation of momentum, what we can say, initial momentum is equal to final momentum. This is what we have. So initial momentum is m1 u1 plus m2 u2. They are in the same direction. Momentum is a vector quantity, so we will give the same sign to the initial momentum. We give this final momentum will be what? m1 v1 plus m2 v2. This is what we get from the conservation of momentum principle. Now this we can simplify. This I can write as m1 u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 v2 minus u2. We got one equation. This is what we can say from the conservation of linear momentum. Which momentum is this? Linear momentum. This is one. Now from law of conservation of energy, which energy are we considering here? Kinetic. Why? Because they are on the same elevation. So therefore, for total energy, if you take, potential energy will be constant, they get cancelled out. So only kinetic energy will be there. So what we can say? Initial kinetic energy should be equal to final kinetic energy. So what we get now? Half m1 v1 square. This is for the first mass, plus half m2 v2 square, this is for the second mass. This is equal to half, initial is u1 u2, half v1 square plus half v2 square. This is what we get. Simplify this equation. If I simplify this equation, what I get is half get cancelled out. So m1 u1 square minus v1 square, half cancels out, v1 I am bringing here, this will be equal to m2 v2 square minus u2 square. This is what we get. Now further simplify. m1 u1 minus v1, factorize it, into u2 minus v2. So on simplification, what we are getting? We are getting on simplification m1 u1 minus v1 into u1 plus v1 is equal to m2 v2 minus u2 v2 plus u2. See, this is what we are getting by factorization. From 1, what we have? From the first equation, m1 u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 v2 minus u2. m1 u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 v2 minus u2. So these two terms are equal, they can be cancelled out. Now what we are getting? We get v1 is equal to v1 is u2 minus u1 plus v2, or v2 is equal to u1 minus u2 plus v1. Now any one of this equation we can substitute here. So substituting this equation, what we have? This equation v2 in 1, we will get the value of v1. How? m1 u1 minus v1. So u1 minus v1 is m2. It is v2. v2 is this u1 minus u2 plus v1 minus u2 minus u2. This is what we get. Correct? So now simplifying this, what we get? If you simplify further, we will get m1 u1 minus m1 v1. Okay, open up the bracket. This is equal to, you have u1 here, so m1 m2 u1 and minus u2 u2, so minus 2 times m2 u2 plus m2 v1. This is what we have. Here also I have v1, here also I have v1. So what we have now? We need to find v1. So we can write here v1 is common, m1 plus m2 that goes that side is equal to, here u1 is common, so I will write m1 minus m2 into u1 minus 2m2 into u2. This is what we have. So finally v1 comes out as m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 times u1 minus 2 times m2 by m1 plus m2 u2. See, this is exactly how we can find the value of v1. Substitute the value of v1 here and you will get the value of v2. That is exactly how we can find out the values of v1 and v2. So if you substitute v1 here, what you will get? So I will solve it here for you. Fine. So v2 u1 minus u2 plus v1. That is exactly how we can find the value of v2 also. we can, this is how by substituting the value of V1 there we can get these equations. Students, these two results, how to use it? See here, this is compulsorily for elastic collision in one dimension. See here, see this equation, please pay attention here. If M1 is equal to M2, if M1 is equal to M2, see the results, what will be the result? V1 will be what? U minus U2. This means that it is reversing. If you take M1 and M2 equal, reverse, I have taken it as vector. If you take it as a vector, you will put a plus sign. Some books you will find they are represented in the vector form. So they will write M1 minus M2, M1 plus M2, U1 plus 2M2, M1 plus M2, vector forms. Now you see here, if M1 is M2, V2 is U1. Now like that, what you can do is, suppose that M1 is M2 and U2 is 0. U2 is 0. U2 is 0, so this becomes 0. M1 is M2, so V1 is U1. Sorry, 0. So V1 comes to rest. This will come to rest. This means if masses are equal, exchange of initial velocities happen. So this is what you can remember, or you can remember these two equations and you can substitute the values and you can conclude also. This is how we can analyze motion, collision in one dimension. Students, please try these derivations yourself once so that you will remember what the format of the terms in the equations of V1 and V2 is, what is the order of the terms. That is essential, because if a small mistake happens, you will get a minus sign for the velocity, which will indicate that the body is reversing its motion. Now that will be little bit dangerous if you see the four choices. Now let us take collision, elastic collision in two dimensions. This was about one dimension. Now let us take elastic collision in two dimensions. Well students, now let us discuss about elastic collision in two dimension. How exactly this will be in two dimension? See here, this is A having mass m1 and initial velocity is u1. This will collide with another mass B, sphere of mass B of m2 having velocity u2. Now this two bodies, when they collide after collision, it should be a two dimension. So see, please understand, this is the initial direction of motion. Initial direction of motion. Now what happens is, A will move this way with velocity v1 making an angle of theta 1 with the initial direction. B will move this way with velocity v2 making an angle theta 2. This is called collision in two dimension. See, the velocity components can be resolved along x-axis and along y-axis. So this is the two-dimensional velocity. So we will say the body is having collision in two dimensions. Now again, since it is elastic collision, we have two conditions available with us. One is law of conservation of linear momentum. Another is law of conservation of energy, in which we are considering kinetic energy. So from law of conservation of linear momentum, from the law of conservation of linear momentum, what we have? Initial momentum is equal to final momentum. Now momentum being vector quantity, observe here, in this case we have to resolve momentum because it's a vector quantity, so we are going to resolve it. So I will take along x-axis, momentum conservation along x-axis. So what we have? X-axis m1 u1 plus m2 u2. This is the initial momentum because the two bodies are moving along x-axis. This is equal to m1 v1 cos theta 1. What is the velocity component? Resolve v1 along x-axis, v1 cos theta 1 plus m2 v2 cos theta 2. We got one equation. We got one equation for x-axis. Similarly, along y-axis, if I take along y-axis, is there any motion of the body? Is there any velocity along y direction? Initially, no. So we say initial momentum is 0. This is equal to, please pay attention here, m1 v1 sin theta 1. That is, if you resolve this, this is along positive y-axis. So v1 sin theta 1. If you resolve v2, then it is along negative y-axis. So it will be minus m2 v2 and sin theta 2. This is our second equation. Students, there is no need to solve this. Just understand how to analyze motion in two dimensions, because in the numericals the values of m1, u1, u2, theta 1, theta 2, those things will be given to you. So it will be easy, these equations, it will not be cumbersome like this. This is from the law of conservation of linear momentum. Now another equation we get from law of conservation of energy. Which energy? Kinetic energy. So what we take now? Here half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square. Now children, here you might think that in case of momentum we resolved, so here also I will get half m1 v1 square cos theta 1 square. Wrong. Energy is a scalar quantity. You cannot resolve it. Momentum is a vector quantity, and we have seen in vectors that vector quantities only can be resolved because they have a direction. That is why vectors only are resolved, not scalar quantities. Otherwise also you can say, like one loaf of bread will give you, let us say, 3 calories of energy, but you cannot say 3 calories of energy towards east. See, this statement is having no sense. So 3 calories of energy is sufficient. That is why energy or scalar quantities are not to be resolved. So this will give us half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. So from this we can write m1 u1 square plus m2 u2 square is m1 v1 square plus m2 v2 square. See, we have 3 equations, and how many variables are there? 2 variables, more than enough. Take up any 2 equations, solve them simultaneously and get the value of variables v1 and v2. This is exactly how we are using the concept of conservation of kinetic energy, conservation of linear momentum to solve numericals from collision, elastic collision in 2 dimension. Please understand the concept. Numericals will be only having values to be substituted. Don't remember these equations. Try to understand it. Now, where do we use the concept of collision and all those things? Very frequently in entrance exams, you will get questions in which they will say a bomb on explosion splits into 3 pieces, 2 pieces and all. This is a situation which is calling for law of conservation of momentum. Remember that. All those situations of bomb explosion, a body splits into 3 parts and all, these are the situations where you will be using law of conservation of momentum. Well students, now let us discuss inelastic collision. Now in perfectly or completely inelastic collision. Now what we can say in this case is, in inelastic collision, momentum is conserved. We know this. So if I say momentum is conserved, so we can say m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Now what happens is both of them will combine m1 plus m2 into, let us say, v. See, it is this way. This is a m1 having velocity u1 combines with another b which is having m2. Let us say its speed is u2. Since it is completely inelastic, so this will be combined a plus b. So we will have m1 plus m2 and they will have a velocity, let us say, v. This is exactly how the inelastic collision can be diagrammatically represented. What we have is, suppose if B is at rest, so u2 is 0. So what we have from this? m1 u1 is equal to m1 plus m2 into v. So therefore we get the velocity of the combined mass. Sometimes numericals are based on this concept also. So we get this as m1 u1 by m1 plus m2. We got velocity of the combined mass. Velocity of the combined mass. Now in inelastic collision, kinetic energy is not conserved. So there is a loss. Now let us try to find loss in kinetic energy. Loss in kinetic energy means initial kinetic energy minus final kinetic energy. Because we are saying loss, so the final will be less than the initial. So initial kinetic energy is half m1 u1 square, because this is at rest, so it will have zero kinetic energy, minus half m1 plus m2 into v square we have. Now we have to simplify this. So loss in kinetic energy will be, we can take half, or we can write like this, half m1 u1 square minus half m1 plus m2. What is v? Substitute from 1. V square is m1 square u1 square by m1 plus m2 whole square. So what we find on simplification, you can take half m1 u1 square common. So here you will get 1. Half m1 plus m2 cancels out. m1 you have taken common, u1 square, 1 minus m1 upon m1 plus m2. This is what we get. u1 square we have substituted, right? So this will give us how much? Half m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2 into u1 square. So this is exactly how we can find out the loss in kinetic energy. Now see, please concentrate here. We got it positive. This means there is a loss in energy. So we have established energy cannot be conserved in an inelastic collision. That is exactly how we can find. One more information. Inelastic collision is characterized by a term that is known as coefficient of restitution. That is the term which we are using to define inelastic collision. That is called coefficient of restitution. It is denoted by E, small e. Coefficient of restitution is ratio of relative velocity of separation So velocity of separation, so we will write V2 minus V1 upon relative velocity of approach. This is exactly what we have as coefficient of restitution. Many numericals will be based on this. Now, for different type of collision, values are different. For completely inelastic collision, E will be 0. E will be 0 for completely or perfectly inelastic collision, while for a perfectly elastic collision E is 1. Please remember that. That is exactly how we can find. This will be used extensively in the numericals, this value of E and the range. E lies between 0 and 1. Perfectly inelastic collision will have the value of coefficient of restitution as 0, and perfectly elastic collision will have the value of coefficient of restitution as 1. That is exact. So what we can say, in an perfectly elastic collision, since E is 1, the relative velocity of separation is equal to relative velocity of approach. That is what we can conclude. So such type of informations are important from the theoretical questions point of view. Well students, let us now try some numericals which are based on the concept that we have discussed till now from the collision topic. See, the question reads like this: a body of mass 2 kg makes an elastic collision with another body at rest. So, I will record the data. M1 is equal to 2 kg and it says U1 is equal to U. M2 is equal to not given and U2 is given as rest, and continues to move in the original direction with 1/4 of its original speed. So V1 is equal to U by 4 in the original direction. Find the mass of the second body. This is what the question says. Now, how to pick the clues? Students, please see here. It says it is an elastic collision. So in elastic collision, momentum is conserved, kinetic energy is conserved. So now, from law of conservation of linear momentum, from the law of conservation of linear momentum, what we can say? M1 U1 plus M2 U2 should be equal to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. Now M1 is 2 kg, U1 is U. This is 0 because U2 is 0. M1 is 2, V1 is given as U by 4 plus M2 to be found out, V2 we don't know. Simplify this. From this what we can say? 2U minus 2U by 4 is equal to M2 V2. So what we got from this? M2 V2 will be 2U by 4, you can take common, 1 minus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4, 3 into 2, 6. So 6 by 4 of U. So M2 you can write this way, or M2 V2 is equal to 3 by 2 U. We got one equation. This equation we got from the law of conservation of linear momentum. Now from law of conservation of energy, which energy? Kinetic energy. We can write one more equation, half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square is equal to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square. Now substitute the values that is known to us. Now see, u2 is 0, so this becomes a 0. Now half throughout cancels out. We can cancel half, half, half. So what we have, m1 is 2 kg, u1 is u square is equal to m1 2, this is u square by u by 4 is there, na? So this will become 16 plus m2 v2 square we are having. So what we get now, this we get m2 v2 square is 2u square, I will take common, into 1 minus 1 by 16 is 15 by 16. This is what we get. Second equation. Solve these two equations and get the value of mass. We want mass, means m2. v2 has to be eliminated. So how will you do that? So to solve this, see here, we have m2 is this, we have this, right? Now square this equation. Squaring this equation, I will get m2 v2 square is 9 by 4 u square. Correct. Now this equation divide, we have m2 square v2 square upon m2 v2 square. Divide the two equation. So we get 9 by 4 u square upon 15 u square by 8. So simplify this, what you will get? When you simplify this, m2 u2 square. Simplify further. If we simplify this, v2 square cancels out. See, v2 square cancels out, 1 m2 cancels out. So we are getting m2 is equal to, out here also u square cancels out, 9 by 4, you will get what? 9 by 4 into 8 by 15. So 4 to 8, see, 4 to 8, 3, 3, 9, 3, 5, 15. So this gives you 1.2 kg. That is exactly how we can use the equation of, this is one way by which we can use, one way by which we can solve. The second method is we can use the concept of coefficient of restitution as well. Because it is given as an elastic collision, this means that the coefficient of restitution will be 1. So the velocity of separation is equal to velocity of approach. That is what we can say. You can use v2 minus v1 upon u1 minus u2 as 1. u2 is 0, u1 is u, and v1 is u by 4. We can directly find out the value of v2 and we can substitute in any one equation to get the value. So, and this is also one method. See, it appears lengthy, it is not lengthy to explain you. I have written every step clearly and explicitly so that when you are building your concept, you should not go for shortcut. Shortcut is to be done during entrance exam, but when you are learning, don't go for that. Write every step so that once at least you must know how the terms appear and which term vanish. This is very essential. Let us take one more question from the elastic collision side. The question reads like this: a particle of mass m moving with velocity v makes a head-on collision with another particle of same mass initially at rest. Find the velocity of the first particle after collision. Please write first particle, so I will write here m1. of mass m, u1 is u, makes a head-on collision with another particle of same mass. So m2 is m. Initially at rest, so u2 is 0. Find the velocity of the first particle after collision. So v1 is asked. So now, from the law, see, it is an elastic collision or whatever be the kind of collision. We know that whether it is elastic collision or inelastic collision, momentum will be conserved. So what we can do is, from law of conservation of linear momentum, see students, this you will not be writing in when you are doing the practicing numericals. This to explain that we are using this, that is why I am writing it. So what I have is m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So what we have, u2 is 0, so m into u is m into v1 plus m into v2, because masses are identical. So from this what we can say, v1 plus v2 is u. We got one equation. Now how to find the second equation? This second equation we will get from the conservation of kinetic energy. So from law of conservation of energy, which energy? Kinetic energy. So we can write half mu square m2 u2 square, u2 is 0, is equal to half m v1 square plus half m v2 square. So we can say v1 square plus v2 square is also u square. See, this way you get, na? Now see here, solving this becomes a bit tedious, cumbersome, right? That is why what we can do is, we can say that, see, normal method what you will do, v2 is equal to u minus v1 and you will substitute here. Instead, see, instead, that is first method. Second method, which I was telling you in the previous question, we can use the coefficient of restitution. Here I can say E is equal to v2 minus v1 upon u1 minus u2. So 1 is equal to v2 minus v1 upon u1 is u, this is 0. So we get v2 minus v1 is u. We got one equation. We have another equation. See, v2 plus v1 is u. Add the two equations or subtract the two equations. You will get what? We need v1. Subtract the two equations. v2 cancels out. 2v1 is 0. So this means that exchange of velocity. This is very right. We have seen this when we derived elastic collision in one dimension. We saw that v1 is equal to m1 minus m2 upon m1 plus m2 times u1 plus 2m2 by m1 plus m2 u2. So u2 is 0. So v1 is u1. This is exactly how we can find. We also confirmed that there is exchange of velocity, na? If the masses are identical, we have also seen there is exchange of velocity. Means v1 will become u2. It is at rest. That is how we can confirm. Or if you don't want to remember all those things, never mind. Use this equation. Remember this. This is very handy and this will reduce your calculation. See here, Just here only the comparison is. You have to solve these two equations. Instead, you can take a different route, you can make the equation linear and you can solve the question easily. Well student, let us take one question from again collision side. Let us read this question and try to understand it belongs to which type of collision. A particle of mass m, so if I record the data, m1 is equal to m, moving with velocity v, so u1 is equal to v, strikes a stationary particle, so m2, particle of mass 2m, u2 is 0, and sticks to it. Find the speed of the system. See, diagrammatically if I show you, this is A, this is m1 having speed u1, this is B having mass m2 having speed u2. Because they combine together, this is A plus B, this is m1 plus m2, and this is V. See, this is what is the diagrammatic form for the given question. So what we can say, this is a inelastic collision. So in an inelastic collision, we have only the conservation of momentum equation coming across. So from the law of conservation of linear momentum, from law of linear momentum, what we can say, m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 plus m2 into combined mass is v. m1 is m, u1 is v, this is 0 is equal to m plus 2m into, fine, this we will write as capital V, this is V. So from this we can say V is equal to m into V by 3m. So therefore we can say the combined mass is having a velocity of V by 3. See students, this particular term sticks to it. This gives us a clue that the collision is inelastic in nature. So you have to pick such clues from the question. The question will only lead you towards the answer provided you are able to pick the clues which are given in the question. Well students, let us take one more numerical. Two putty balls, they are soft material which stick together, that material known as putty, of equal masses moving in mutually perpendicular directions with equal speed stick together after collision. So what is the kind of collision? Inelastic collision. If the balls were initially moving with velocity of 45 root 2 meter per second, find the velocity of the combined mass after collision. See, diagrammatically if we try to see, this is m1 having speed of u1, this is m2 and it has a speed of u2. Now what is given? If we see the given quantities, equal masses, so m1 is m and u1 is 45 root 2 meter per second. Similarly m2 is also m, but u2 is also 45 root 2 meter per second, but they are in vertical directions. They are not in the same direction of motion. Now they will combine. Here they will collide, they will combine. Combined mass will move this way. And its mass will be m1 plus m2. This is what is given to us. So to solve this question, what we can do is, we know that momentum is a vector quantity. So I can take momentum along x-axis, or I can take momentum along y-axis, resolve the momentum along the two directions. So if I say momentum along x-axis, if it is conserved, so we can say m1 u1, because m2 will not have any momentum along x-axis because it is traveling along y-axis, so its x component will be 0, is equal to combined mass is m1 plus m2 into v, let us say cos theta. This angle I am taking as theta. So what we get? Substitute the value. So m1 is m, u1 is 45 root 2, m1 plus m2 is, m plus m is 2m, so 2m into v cos theta. So what we get now? V cos theta is 45 by root 2. This is what I get. Conservation along x-axis. Same thing if I do momentum along y-axis. Conservation of momentum along y-axis. You will get the same thing. What is that? m2 u2 is equal to m1 plus m2 along y-axis v sin theta. So substituting the values, we get v sin theta as 45 by root 2. This is the second equation. Now from these two equations, divide the two equations. You will get tan theta is 1. From equation 1 and equation 2, we get theta is 45 degrees. This is the angle at which the body, the combined mass will move, and the magnitude of velocity will be, and v is 45 meter per second. Divide the two. Tan theta, v cancels out, tan theta is 1, so theta is 45 degree. Substitute here, sin 45 is 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 cancels out, so we get v is 45 meter per second. See, this is exactly how, when the bodies are moving in different direction, keep in mind, momentum is a vector quantity, so you have to take momentum with direction, then only your conservation will happen. But this cannot be done for conservation of energy. That key point has to be kept in mind. So to conclude, what we can say, collision can be of two types: elastic collision, inelastic collision. Properties of elastic collision is momentum will be conserved, kinetic energy will be conserved. Coefficient of restitution is 1 for a perfectly elastic collision. In an inelastic collision, only momentum is conserved, kinetic energy is lost in the form of heat, sound and all those things. That is inelastic collision. Perfectly inelastic collision, the two bodies, colliding bodies will stick together and start moving together. That is what we have seen here. This is perfectly inelastic collision. In case of perfectly inelastic collision, coefficient of restitution is 0. That is what the key points you have to keep in mind from the collision topic.